defeated. For a time it seemed we would know peace. But it was not to be. For Diablo's essence lingers in the Black Soul Stone. I cannot destroy the stone, nor allow its evil to remain within the heavens. And so it must be hidden, even from the angels. I pray that it will be enough. You have done well, Horadrim. Your service here is finished. And you should all run. Malfail. Brother, why? The Nephilim will stop you.
No one can stop death.
that grows must also wither and die. What dies and rots will then nourish the living. This is the great cycle of being, and we, the priests of Rathma, use our dark art to protect it. Though most do not understand us, we go where we are needed. My master has learned that a star fell in the west, drawing the dead from their graves. He commands me to journey to Tristram and return them to their rest. For if the cycle is not upheld, it would mean the end of all things. I am near the fallen star, and the dead it raised. I have come to aid these lands. Where is the fallen star?
It fell on the old cathedral. There was only one survivor, Leah. You should speak with her.
Captain Rumford, more dead are coming.
We can't open the gates until we drive them back.
They keep coming!
Rathma has blessed.
I've never seen anyone fight like that before. Guards, open the gates! You'll find Leah at the Slaughtered Calf Inn.
Burn those corpses before they rise again. Zakharum has fallen to disgrace. What fate can...
For many years, villagers were too afraid to settle near the ruins of the cursed town Tristram. But as time went by, adventurers arrived to loot the old cathedral, and their business was profitable enough that new Tristram sprang up to accommodate them. Fewer travelers visit now, though, and the town is mostly populated by craftsmen and farmers.
Tristram used to be such a wonderful place to live. My family has been here since the town grew out of the ruins of old Tristram. But now, it's horrible. The loved ones we've buried and grieved over now threaten our lives.
Have you come to help us?
I don't care what anyone says. That thing that fell from...
Are you Leah? Did you survive the Fallen Star?
I did. But it blasted my uncle, Deckard Cain, into the depths of the old cathedral. I tried to search for him, but the dead were already rising. I came back here to rally the militia, but... Watch out! The wounded are turning!
This is killing business.
The dead will overwhelm us all, unless something is done.
Yes, that is why I am here.
Thank you. You should speak with Captain Rumford at the gate. He can tell you what to do. We've been under siege for 6 days now. Uncle Deckard is still missing. Captain Rumford and the others are losing hope. I tell them not to lose faith, but if help doesn't arrive soon...
Militiamen went out. Only...
We have come at last to Tristram's old cathedral. This is where Diablo, Lord of Terror, first corrupted mankind. This is where I may finally find the answers I seek. Leah worries after my safety, but I believe information vital to defeating the last lords of the burning hells can be found here.
I will bring peace to the risen dead.
I admire your courage, but Captain Dalton and the militia were slaughtered by those things. Only I survived.
I have experience in these matters.
Well, I have seen you fight. Strike at the wretched mothers and their queen. They're the ones vomiting out these horrors.
They're attacking the barricades!
That's one of the wretched mothers.
I, Deckard Cain, have spent many years traveling and writing about the strange creatures in our world, but the sight of the wretched mothers still haunts me. They are the remnants of Queen Asilla's slaughtered handmaidens who were twisted by foul magic. Now they feast upon cadavers and regurgitate them as newly formed, risen dead. I will never forget the first time I saw these horrors shambling out of the misty woods. Our loved ones, buried long ago, rose from their graves and began to attack the living. However, the risen dead were only the beginning.
Trained well.
Reader, I am Abd al-Hazir, adventurer, scholar, and researcher. I share my knowledge of this incredible world and its creatures through my insightful missives, often at grave risk to myself. Why, I was recently in Honduras, where my tents were ransacked by vicious quill fiends. I was able to beat them up with a shoe, but a less bold man would have fared far worse.
started to eat us while we slept. They're everywhere. Run! Save yourself!
Oh, Tristram, dear lands. Do not fear the end.
Thank you for your help, but could you talk some sense into Leah? She won't give up on the idea of rescuing her uncle.
Interesting. If he lives, his knowledge could prove useful. I will help you find your uncle, Leah.
We'll need to open the cathedral first. The guards locked it up before they were ambushed. Rumford told me they fought their way back to ADRIA'S hut. The key must still be there. Here, let me open the gate. Adria was my mother, but I don't know much about her. She died when I was very young. I was raised by Uncle Deckard.
Did you know your father?
I'm told he was a great warrior who was lost when Tristram fell to the demons. Look! A hidden cellar! Follow me!
Dark magic lingers here.
People said she was a witch, but I never believed it. Captain Dalton! Here's the key, and my mother's journal. What I've seen of it is disturbing. I want to know more about her, but that can wait. We need to save Uncle Deckard first.
Leave that to me. You'd best stay and learn what you can.
Thank you.
Aiden came to me last night. I suspected what was lurking within his troubled heart. I consoled him as best I could. Regardless, wherever he's headed, hell will surely follow in his wake. The shadows close in on Tristram once again. But like Aiden, I'll be gone before they fall.
For a long time, Uncle Deckard avoided coming back to this place. There were a lot of ghosts here for him. This is where Diablo drove old King Leoric mad and terrorized the people. I don't know what really happened here, but whatever it was horrible. Nearly everyone who survived went mad.
How did your mother die?
Well, details are hazy, but I know that Adria was obsessed with chasing the arcane. She knew she could never raise a child. Uncle Deckard believes that the madness and horror of her life finally caught up with her.
This soul is not yet at rest. Tristram Cathedral. The star fell below.
Some foul new disease has taken hold in this land, and the carrion bats are near the heart of it. Since returning to Tristram, I have seen their numbers surge. The evil forces that linger here give them strength, and I fear that the worst is yet to come. The grotesques may seem slow and senseless, but they hide many dangers within their hideously malformed bodies. A set of spikes lurks beneath the monster's flesh, and foul parasites nest within them. It is said that these horrors themselves are constructed by a greater evil, a darkness that I cannot even fathom.
My name is Latdanan, and I am cursed. Once the captain of King LEORIC'S army, I lived only to honor my land and my king. No man has a greater love for his king than I had for mine, even as I drove my blade through his dark and corrupted heart.
Interesting opponent. All must serve the cycle. Do not fear the end.
Foul minions, stay back! Back! May this wedge hold. Skeleton King.
The power of the fallen star awakened me, and soon all will suffer as I have suffered. Gods, bring me his bones!
Back to your graves!
Ratma has blessed me.
Thank you, but why did you risk yourself for me?
I believe we can aid each other. Your niece told me you were here.
Oh, it is wonderful to hear that Leah is well. I feared the worst. I learned of this secret passage through old maps I found. We must discuss the fallen star. Follow me to Tristram.
I have found Leah's uncle, Deckard Cain. He was pursued by a creature called the Skeleton King, who blocks the path to the fallen star.
Uncle, you're alive!
Thanks to you and your friend here.
Friend, I am not often called that, but I wish to know more about the fallen star.
The prophecy of the end days surely points to it as a sign that the end has begun.
Please, Uncle, not more of your stories. All that matters now is that you're back. I've spent most of my life traveling from place to place with Uncle Deckard, while he did his crazy research.
It seems reasonable enough to me.
He's convinced that the forces of hell will invade our world and bring about the end times. All these years, he's still searching for a way to stop this apocalypse.
What did you learn of Adria?
She wasn't from Tristram originally. She came here during the Troubles. She was in search of something, but I'm not sure what. She reminds me of Uncle Deckard, obsessed with the war between angels and demons.
The Skeleton King was once our beloved lord, LEORIC. He was driven mad by Diablo's evil. He lost both of his sons and his very soul before he was finally defeated. Now it seems he's risen to plague this land once again.
I will find a way to lay him to rest.
The key to defeating him lies in his old crown. Seek out our blacksmith, Hadrig. He knows of its whereabouts. Leah, you should not dismiss the signs so lightly. Do you not believe the evidence of your own eyes?
Horrors have visited Tristram before, and it endured.
But what of the texts? The Zakarum tomes warn of a falling star. The Herodric scroll spoke of the dead rising, and the Lord of Lies, the prophecy of the end days, says that at the end of all things, the first sign shall appear in the heavens.
Yes, you've been telling me about the texts since I was 8 years old, Uncle. I just don't think we should read too much into them.
I am the last of the Herodrim. I couldn't always claim this. In fact, if I had turned to the Herodric teachings sooner, Diablo could have been stopped before his reign of terror began.
That seems unlikely.
When the first signs appeared, I did nothing. I had shrugged the old tales off like they were so much fantasy, and Tristram, no, the world has paid dearly for my arrogance. I have tried to make up for my failings. Leah and I have spent her lifetime scouring the world, collecting pieces of the prophecy of the end days. If I can decipher it, we will have the key to defeating the lords of hell.
You and Leah depend on each other.
I do not know what my life would have been like had I not raised her. Oh, it must have been difficult for Leah, following an old man on a mad search for the secrets to defeating the lords of the burning hells. But though she has seen her share of mysterious things, she is still unsure of my quest. I can understand. She has never seen anything like Diablo and his brothers. The prophecy of the end days is contained within the Herodric tomes I inherited from my ancestor, Jared Cain. It is a warning to those who could interpret it regarding Hell's ultimate invasion of our world, written by many different people throughout history, in many different lands. All known versions of the prophecy are incomplete. I have spent a good part of the past 20 years trying to complete it. I am certain it holds the answers to defeating the lords of hell.
What happened to Tristram's king?
Leoric resisted Diablo's attempts to possess him, but the effort left him weak and confused. When his son Albrecht was kidnapped to be a vessel for Diablo, it destroyed any sanity Leoric had left.
And so he became the Skeleton King.
He commanded an army of the dead deep within the cathedral, finally serving the Lord of Terror he had resisted while alive. Many adventurers tried and failed to slay the Skeleton King. It was left to Leoric's eldest son, Aiden, to finally kill the monster his father had become.
I have some... Don't touch anything unless you're buying it. I like to keep my inventory clean. Leah spent all night alongside the blacksmith's wife, tending the wounded.
Did you hear? Old Rumford has us down to half rations. How are we supposed to...
Chelsea, how sweet of you to ask. My people, the Vetchin, are nomads. always traveling, looking for the land we might settle. All of us have the sight, but few have it as strong as myself. You know, men have always pursued me for my visions. Well, for things other than my visions. But everyone wants to know what the future holds.
My duty is my future.
So serious. Just because you're fated to save the world doesn't mean you shouldn't have a good time. The world is constantly renewing itself, eternally playing out the same events over and over again. We can merely play our parts.
What are you trying to say?
I speak clearly. Do not blame me for the state of your mind.
You are the blacksmith, aren't you? I have a request.
Not now. It's my wife. She's locked in the cellar like all those who've been bitten. I'm to put them all down. But how can I kill my own wife?
Death is a path all must tread. Allow me to help.
Thank you. Follow me.
Don't tell anyone, but I've got some new
Friends, I'm sorry.
Do not apologize. You belong to me, please.
My love, forgive me.
Adric! Help me!
Couldn't have done this without you. I'm in your debt. My name is Hedrig Aemon.
There is a way you could repay me. I seek the crown of King Leoric.
I can help you there. It's buried with his chancellor, my grandfather. You'll find his tomb in a cemetery in the Weeping Hollow. And if you see my fool apprentice out there, tell him to get back to town.
During the last days of King Leoric's reign, even the skeletons of the ancient dead could not rest. They took up their broken armor and weapons once more, ready to cut down anything that yet drew breath. Though wasted and fragile, these creatures possess a twisted cleverness that makes them quite formidable.
The blacksmith's apprentice has fallen. Another disruption in balance.
Scavengers are ugly, pathetic creatures who survive off of carrion and corpses, too diseased to attract any other carnivores. I did once meet a raggedy fellow who claimed that he had trained one of the beasts to bring him large rats to eat. But I'm sure the story is utter nonsense.
I have long waited for this knowledge. beckons. Consumes you. Your death nears. Will die. World can abide you no longer. I have long waited for this knowledge.
King Leoric came to court, he brought many nobles with him, and nobles, oddly enough, want noble crypts. So I showed up with my shovel, thinking to make easy profit by digging a few holes. Ha! There's no stopping their demands around here. Now, I eat, sleep, and breathe service.
An interesting opponent. Your death nears.
Demons have been known to devour their own young when no other nourishment is available. Their offspring, the imps, sometimes manage to flee and band together with other demon spawn. They rove in vicious packs, ready to descend upon the unwary traveler and rip his body to shreds with their tiny needle-sharp teeth.
Do not fear the end. The crown is not here. I'll look for it in another crypt.
Some devious little goblins have been robbing our merchants. When pursued, they simply open portals and disappear with the most aggravating chuckle. The peasantry seem to believe that the goblins serve a great demon lord known as Greed. And furthermore, that their portals lead to Greed's domain. A ludicrous notion, truly.
Tragedies in these lands have left many restless spirits in their wake, and they demand retribution. These spirits will take out their vengeance on any unsuspecting individual who may pass, for they believe that the blood of the living will yet restore the lives that were ripped away from them.
A consequence. understand so much more now. A challenge. Your death nears. The crown is not in this crypt. I'll search elsewhere. I have long waited for this knowledge. That is not possible. think the crown is nearby.
Unburied are formed from human corpses that were flung into mass graves without a proper burial. This hideous amalgamation of bodies decomposes together into one being, bound by some foul magic. For all my knowledge, I could only flee from it. And I would expect any other sensible person to do the same.
Your death nears.
No! I will not allow you to bring that monster Leoric back to this world!
I need to go back.
You found the crown. Truth be told, I didn't think you'd make it back alive. Ah, it needs repair. Should be no problem. It's good to work again. There. New as the day it was placed upon the Black King's head. I need something more than making spades to occupy my mind. I want my life to mean something.
There is no higher calling than serving the balance. The priests of Rathmar would welcome your aid. But I should tell you, during my travels, I found the body of your apprentice. It was a quick death.
Fool boy. Hope for the worst and you will not be disappointed. Thank you for the news.
I would like to hear more about your grandfather, the Chancellor.
Not much to tell. I lived with my father in Chaldeum at the time. We heard that my grandfather stayed in Tristram until the end, trying to save lives. Don't know if he succeeded, but there it is. When the Skeleton King fell, my grandfather was dying from a sword wound. He had the crown sealed with him to keep it safe.
He made his choice then. Back at your forge already.
Work needs doing. No one is going to do it for me.
You were quite upset about Mira.
I don't want to talk about my wife. Dead is dead and gone is gone. Do you want work done or not?
I have retrieved the crown.
At last. With it, you can unlock the sealed door in the room where you rescued me and enter the royal crypts. When you find the Skeleton King, place the crown atop his head and destroy him.
There is no other way to reach the fallen star, it seems.
I've dug up a right good bunch of things for you this fine day.
From the east shall come a monarch whose rule begins in blood.
Time to die.
Lazarus. Of that I am certain. He alone had the king's ear, and whispered dark and evil magics into it, instilling the notion of an imminent attack by Westmarch. Afraid to speak against the Archbishop, the councillors nodded their empty heads in agreement, and sent us off to die.
Challenge. My master would take pride in this. can abide you no longer!
Maintain your incantations. Your magic is... I am free! Now, back to my mission.
Who are you?
You will know soon enough. Help me find my gear. I will reward you well. Tell me, what brought you to this infernal place?
I must slay the Skeleton King.
Then our aims align. The cultists dragged me past this glowing pit. What made it?
I will know soon.
Down this way! There are my weapons!
He's free! You know that...
I am Cormac, warrior of the Templar Order. If it is the Skeleton King you seek, then you will have to fight your way past John Dar. There is no reason we should hunt alone.
If you insist.
Black magic bars our way, but the will of a Templar is stronger. You were a Templar, John Dar. How could you succumb to this? Come!
The Coven is my brotherhood now, Cormac. The power...
Please forgive me. My vision was clouded by the Coven's evil magic.
Betrayal can never be forgiven.
Thank you for your aid. I will go with you on your hunt for the Skeleton King. But there is one condition. If we find the sacred tomes of my order, they are mine.
Do as you please. Such books do not interest me.
Then onwards we go to fight the Skeleton King. What shall we fight today? How should I trade? I tried to count how many we've killed, but I've lost track. Well chosen. I will use it well.
When we returned from our horrific defeat in Westmarch, my beloved king lost all pretense of sanity. He seethed with rage, spitting curses upon us as traitors. With great sorrow, I ran him through.
Your death nears. This world can abide you no longer!
A mighty adversary is before us.
This magic bodes ill. The night embraces you.
forever live in anguish for my last attempt to honor my king. As we lay him to rest in his burial chamber, he manifested as a hideous skeletal demon. Gorash and my other knights were overcome at once, but I fought on.
This world can abide you no longer!
All must serve the cycles.
Abide you no longer!
Give me a real battle! I do not understand how evil walks in the day. Should it not fear the light?
You possess only a limited understanding of these forces.
And now I wander, cursed by my once beloved king. Evil gnaws at my bones, and I cannot risk putting my beloved Tristram in danger, should I fail to contain that which tears at me. I must venture down into the labyrinth, to die alone.
for helping me fight the dark. To contend with evil is the essence of what it means to be a Templar.
In all things, there must be balance.
Keep your distance from him. This burden is mine to bear. May death bring peace from your madness, Leoric.
Traitors! Even in death, the armies of Condorus will still obey their king, even if you will not.
We have just arrived in Tristram. I must say, I'm a bit dismayed. This place is a backwater filled with serfs and an ancient broken-down monastery. Hardly fit for the king of Condorus. I cannot fathom why Lazarus was so intent on this becoming our new seat of power.
Treasure!
Dare to bring the warmth of life into my tomb?
We shall put you down, Hellspawn!
Defeat me!
You were defeated the moment you surrendered to madness.
high priest since Provast, proclaimed Leoric king of Honduras many years ago. He ruled well until Diablo's influence drove him mad, and the loyal knight Lac-Dannen was forced to slay him. Afterward, Diablo himself raised Leoric from the dead as the Skeleton King.
The crater. This is unexpected. How did you come here?
I remember falling.
Who are you?
I am not your enemy. I think. Yes, I believe I have come with a warning. The darkness. The darkness is coming. I don't remember.
You must get to safety. Then we will find answers. I believed it was a fallen star. But in truth, it was only a man. And of course, his memories have vanished. Perhaps Deckard Cain will know more.